All right, now this video need to be done because I've seen that Adrien Broner is fighting Mikey Garcia coming up, which should be a pretty good fight. I'm looking forward to it. That's going to be at the Barclays Center in New York. So yeah, the fight will be at 140. Um, and I know many people are predicting Adrien Broner to lose this fight against Mikey Garcia because he's dealing with a guy. And this is the reason why I see why people predict the outcome of this fight, because if you look at Broner's track record against elite fighters, naming, let's say, Sean Porter and B minus fighters like Marcos Maidana, whatnot, Daniel Ponce de Leon, and Paulie Malignaggi, he doesn't perform well against those guys. Okay, well, Paulie's more like a C plus fighter, maybe if that. Okay, he doesn't perform well against those guys. Okay, in fact, he's either struggled against them or he's lost against them. Okay, particularly Maidana, where he was a favorite to win that fight, and he got steamrolled in that fight, beat up badly. And many people were rejoicing that because they felt that he deserved an ass whipping after all his antics in the ring and outside the ring, way he disrespected Maidana. But hey, that's Adrien Broner. He's brash and he's arrogant. He's obnoxious. He gets into all kind of stupid shit. When it comes to with the law and his other personal issues with his life, failing to make weight in multiple fights. So, look, that's just how he is. But despite that, he does know how to sell a fight. He does know how to promote, and he does know how to sell tickets. Got to give him credit for that. But at the same time, I felt this is the reason why I need to do this video, because he reminds me of Ricardo Mayorga. Okay? Adrien Broner is a Ricardo Mayorga of this generation. I know some Adrien fanboys are not gonna like this video. They're gonna come on in my comment section, attack me, or put out a response video. I don't give a damn. The bottom line is this: you are within your right to criticize a fighter however you see fit. That's your prerogative, okay? So don't get upset when I go after your fighter for legitimate reasons or for constructive reasons, and then put out videos or responses trying to trash me because I have my own opinion just like you. So, I mean, if you're gonna act up, if you're gonna act like a baby and cry like a bitch about it, then too bad. I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna do what I want to do, just like you do what you want to do. Point blank. All right. Let me get back to the topic at hand. So, let's look at Adrien Broner's career, because I want to actually run down his career a minute, because somebody also raised this question to me and asked me, do you think Adrien Broner is an all-time great, given the fact that he's won 4 division titles? So the answer is plain and simple. Hell fucking no. Okay? And let me go through his career real briefly, okay? Adrien Broner, okay, yes, he started his career at super featherweight. Okay, he was knocking out guys. Such and such, yada yada yada. Okay, he started his career at super featherweight. Well, actually, he started his career at lightweight, and then all of a sudden he started to drag himself down to super featherweight to get big fights. Okay, which is kind of strange. So in his first few 15 to 16 pro fights, he was fighting between 130 and 140. Quite interesting. Okay, so other than that, he got a big fight, a big shot against, well, a shot, but he was tested. His first test was against a multi-time champion, Daniel Ponce de Leon, who's has numerous successful title defenses at super featherweight, okay, or at featherweight by that matter. Now, Ponce de Leon, a lot of people felt this was a 10-round fight. Many people felt that Broner lost this fight, got a gift decision, because he did not look well at all in this fight, and that's a God honest truth. I felt that de Leon had pulled it out. Real talk. So yeah, he got the win. Got to give him credit for that win, because Daniel Ponce de Leon, some would argue that he was past his best, but from my recollection, I think Broner was the underdog going into that fight. But if he is, then great, more credit to him. But if he wasn't, okay, I still can't knock him for it. It's still a good win either way we look at it, even though many people felt that Broner got a gift over him, but it is what it is. So, yeah, we got to just move forward. And then after that, he gets his title shot against Vicente Escobedo. Yeah, he knocked him out, okay? Now, the thing about this I have to say is, no. He didn't get his title shot against Vicente Escobedo. He got a title shot against Vicente Rodriguez, another Vicente, okay? It was for the vacant title for the WBO super featherweight. Yeah, he KO'd Rodriguez, and after that he KO'd one successful title defense. He KO'd Eloy Perez. Okay, whatever. Then after that he didn't make weight for his next title defense against Escobedo. He knocked him out. But let's be honest. Other than Daniel Ponce de Leon, who does Broner have in his resume up to super featherweight that he fought that was very good? There's nobody else. I mean, Escobedo, let me tell you something about Escobedo. He's been in a ring with some good guys. He got knocked out by Andre Kotilnik. Okay? Got knocked out by Kotilnik. Yeah, he'd been in there with the other likes of, who else he was in there with? I think he was in there with Darian Matthews. No, that's Gary Reese. That's Gavin Reese, my bad. But other than that, he got knocked out by Kotilnik. Moving forward. After that, he moves up to lightweight, Adrien Broner. He wins the light. He beats Tony DeMarco for the world lightweight title. Okay, fair enough. But we know that Antonio DeMarco was shot way over the hill, and we all know that Broner, when he was fighting at the lower weight classes at super featherweight, he was having a serious size advantages over these guys. Okay, it was so big to the point that even people called him a weight bully. Okay. Now that may be the case because he literally went into good old like fights like where he gets Escobedo, who just deliberately failed to make weight, but yet just the size advantage he had over this guy was just crazy. Okay, then after that he beats. Okay, let me get back to the topic at hand. So he beats DeMarco to capture the WC lightweight title, right? He moves up. No, sorry, he makes one title defense against Gavin Reese, a guy whose greatest win on his record is against a way over the hill Darian Matthews. Okay, actually, you know what? Escobedo didn't get knocked out by Kotilnik. It was Gavin Reese who got knocked out by Kotilnik. Okay, all right. But anyways, Broner makes one successful title defense against Gavin Reese. Then he moves up. He jumps two weight classes to challenge Paulie Malignaggi, the weakest 147-pound champion. And it's amazing though, because Broner struggled in this fight, okay? Yes, it was a close fight. It could have gone either way. I felt Paulie squeaked it out, but I saw there was ways that Broner could have won that fight. I got no problem with the scoring. However, I have a problem with one particular judge who scored at 117-111 for Broner. I don't know how the hell he could have scored that for Broner 117-111. That right there, you could consider in a sense of a robbery. Now, as far as the fight overall, I didn't think it was a robbery, but as far as the scoring right there, yeah, that's a bit suspect. It could have gone either way, but the two judges, yeah, I think they got, I can't argue with their cards because I scored it 7-5 for Paul. One judge scored it for 7-5 for Malignaggi, the other scored it for Broner. Okay, that makes more sense. But 117-111, yeah, that was suspect. And then after that, Broner he's making his first title against Maidana. Like I mentioned earlier in this video, he got wiped out. He got steamrolled in this fight. Okay, steamrolled. All right. And then after that, he drops down to 140. He makes his 140 debut against Carlos Molina when he acted like an asshole in the interview, disrespecting the Mexican culture. I mean, that's Broner. He likes to say things that's brash and out of arrogance, and he doesn't think before he says anything. So it is what it is. Then after that, he fights Emmanuel Taylor. Very good fight. Tough guy, Emmanuel Taylor. But other than that, Emmanuel Taylor don't really have any great wins on his record. So let's move along. John Molina Jr. Okay. John Molina Jr. knocked out Mickey Bay in his best, knocked him out in his prime. So, okay, so I give Broner credit for that. Let's move along. Sean Porter. But, yeah, we all know that Broner got steamrolled in this fight, too, although the one significant thing he did in this fight was get his score knockdown against Porter at the end of at the last round of the fight. That's the only significant thing he did, because in this particular fight, he was just trying so hard to hold off Porter in his pressure style. He was trying to wrap him up, trying to tire him by holding him. And I think he got deducted a point in this fight for excessive holding. Yeah, Tony Weeks deducted a point. And I have to question the scoring in this fight too by Adelaide Burke. Yes, it was a unanimous decision, but Adelaide Burke scored this 114-112. No, that fight was not even that close. Okay, so I'm in agreement with one of the judges who scored a 118-108, because Broner was not even in the fight. As I mentioned, the only significant thing he did was score that knockdown at the end. So yeah. Anyhow, Broner. So that fight actually was fought at a catchweight at 140 at welterweight at 144. So After that, Broner fights for a vacant 140 title. He knocks out Akhabidov at the end of the last round of the fight. He captures the title. He's trying to make another defense. He's trying to make a defense against Ashley Theophane. Failed to make weight in that fight, so he got stripped of the title. Theophane had the right to fight for it. Broner knocks him out. Then after that, and Theophane is a guy who we all know doesn't have a great resume, not a great fighter. We all know that. And Granados, very close fight. Could have gone either way. Felt that Granados won it, but hey, I see how Broner won that fight as well. So if you look at his career stats, okay, Adrien Broner, okay, first of all, 4 division champion, great. But how many lineal champions he's beaten? None. How many pound for pound fighters that he's beaten? None. How many successful title defenses has he had? Guess a number. Don't know? 2. So out of 2 defenses, he's a 4 division champion. He's only had 2 successful title defenses altogether. Wow. Now, to me, that's not a definition of an all-time great who can't even have successful title defenses, okay? Especially if you don't come through in your big fights, all right? Yes, you've been in there with some good guys, especially guys like Sean Porter and whatnot, but the fact is you have failed to come through it, and you struggled in some of your big fights as well, all right? Now, how many world champions has Adrien Broner beat altogether? Take a guess. Take a wild guess. You don't know? The answer is 3. You got Antonio DeMarco, you got Daniel Ponce de Leon, Paul Malignaggi, and that's it. So out of the fact that he's a 4 division champion, he's only beaten 3 world champions. None of those guys were rated pound for pound best. None of those guys were lineal champions, okay? Point blank. Now again, the only good guy out of the champions that he beat was Daniel Ponce de Leon, which many people felt that he lost that fight. So, yeah. Now, it may not be fair to Mayorga the way, because the reason why I'm comparing Mayorga to Adrien Broner, but here's other factors why I'm doing it. Okay, as I mentioned, the fact is that Adrien Broner, like Adrien Broner, Mayorga was a guy who didn't care too much about the sport. He didn't have a healthy habit as a fighter. He never lived the lifestyle as a fighter. He always smoked. He always drank. He never took his training seriously. He never listened to his corner. He always wanted to, like when he was in training camp, there's the stories I heard when he was always in training camp, when he was training in the gyms. He was always good at the fundamentals. He always listened to some degree, but when it came to the actual fights, he just threw everything out the window. He was just fighting awkwardly, throwing punches at odd, weird, different angles, and just looping his punches. Was slow sometimes coming in with his punches. I mean, this guy was just so predictable. Yes, he was dangerous, especially at welterweight. But until then, when he fought a boxer like Corey Spinks, who actually could figure out his style, he keep it at bay with his pure boxing skills, he exploited Mayorga in a very horrible way. But needless to say, though, like I said, some people felt that I'm doing injustice to Mayorga. Yes, I would say this. Mayorga has a better resume than Adrien Broner. Mayorga, at least to his credit, beat a lineal champion, a pound-for-pound fighter in Vernon Forrest. Beat him twice. Also beat Andrew Lewis, with also... those 2 fights that Mayorga had, beat champions back-to-back. He was an underdog in both of those fights, okay? And Mayorga himself, to his credit, was rated one of the pound-for-pound best fighters at the time when he beat Forrest twice. He was a lineal and unified champion at 147 until he lost to Corey Spinks, okay? But what's amazing about that is at least Mayorga has 2 successful title defenses. That's equally the same number of title defenses as Adrien Broner. Adrien Broner has won 4 world titles. Mayorga has won 2 division titles. Yes, he didn't have a successful title defense at 154 when he won it in against Michel Picharel, and they lost it to Oscar De La Hoya. But also to Mayorga's credit, at least he headlined 4 different pay-per-views. Where's Adrien Broner? How come he hasn't headlined a pay-per-view yet? I'm still waiting on that. Still waiting on that one. All right. And, yes, Mayorga actually been in the ring with elite fighters. Hall of Fame fighters, and Felix Trinidad and Shane Mosley, future Hall of Famer, of course, and who else? Oscar De La Hoya. So, yes, he lost those fights, but at least to his credit, he's been in the ring with those guys. So, Adrien Broner is another Ricardo Mayorga in this era. Real talk. And he's not an all-time great based off his current resume right now. Yes, he's got Michael Garcia coming up. If you look at it, I really think, though, I stated earlier that this fight's going to be at 140. Mikey Garcia is coming up from 135 to, to make. As I was saying, I know a lot of people picked Mikey Garcia to win this fight against Adrien Broner. Okay, but here's the thing about me. I'm actually gonna stay in the middle on this one because though Broner hasn't came through in his big fights, though he struggled in some of them as well. I think this may play to his advantage. And here's the reason why I say that, because this is the first time in a long time that Adrien Broner is actually fighting a guy who he's naturally bigger than, if you think about it. Yes, Michael Garcia is part of super featherweights on Adrien Broner, but let's be honest, Adrien Broner was killing himself to make that weight for years, as I mentioned earlier in this video, where he had a enormous size advantages over these small guys at super featherweight and at lightweight. Okay, so the weight disparity can play a difference. Now the question is, can he actually make the weight? We don't know. That's yet to be told, because he, like I said, he does have a history of not making weights for his fights. Okay, so just like you particularly at the Adrian Granados fight, when that fight was scheduled to be at 140, then they catch weight at 142, and then they made it a full 147 when Broner was struggling to make that weight. So this is going to be very interesting. Okay, but again, this could play to Adrien Broner's advantage if he can make the weight and he goes in there against Mikey Garcia. So the thing is, Mikey Garcia, very good fighter, very good boxing puncher. So the thing is, can he get Broner's respect early? That's yet to be told. So like I said, I'm gonna remain in the middle on this one. But I know this is not the primary. This is not the primary topic to the video. But I just thought I wanted to add my 2 cents to this upcoming fight. So yeah, let me know what your thoughts about. Do you agree or disagree the fact that Adrien Broner is the Ricardo Mayorga of this era? Or, yeah, that's about it. I'm out. Oh, I'm sorry. One more thing. Or do you think he's actually all-time great, even though he's only had 2 successful title defenses and beaten only 3 world champions, although he is a 4-division champion? Let me know what your thoughts about this. I'm out.